G'day, how you going? Ian Applis here, acrylic guru from Australia. Welcome to my channel where I like to teach you that you can do it in acrylic. Now, I'm going to put the size of my canvas and the colours I'm using in the description box below underneath all my links. So if you're watching the replay, they will be there when I have time to edit it. And I'm going to bring you over here and show you just what I've drawn out on my canvas so you get an idea of just what we're going to get up to today. So get on over here and let's get right into it. Now on my canvas, I've got my horizon line right across there, so to speak. I've got a row of trees here coming down. I've got some coming here, so I want to create distance going into there, right into the middle of the painting. And we're going to have a beautiful distance within our sky, a bit of a moon, some snow and a lake here with a beautiful reflection coming down. Now, I do have some lines here. You'll work out what they are later on throughout the tutorial, but they're the bands I want to do so I don't get mixed up when I'm gradiating my sky, okay? Okay, down on the palette, I want to grab me craft white, just like that, just for the sky. And I've got some retarder, is there, because I want to blend the sky with beautiful colours. Now I'm going to mix the retarder and this soft body titanium white. I'll just call it soft body titanium white from now on because people hear me say craft white and they say, where can I get craft white from? Now I just want to mix this together. I want to mask up the horizon line because I don't need this in the water just yet. And I want to get this on my sky. All over the sky area. Press it on. Now if it's your first time here and you're watching the replay, give me a comment, tell me where you're from, how you find me. What do you reckon? Alright, so this is my free gift for you people today. Just getting in my studio and showing you how to paint something beautiful, vibrant and colourful. Now I'm going to simply wipe this brush. Okay, I'm going to get all the snot off that. Which rag am I using for that? This one here. And what's next? Now, I've got, I'll get a few colours down here. Cerulean blue and some phthalo blue. And I've got, it's called quinacridone red violet, but I'm just calling it violet. Okay. Oh, there we go. A bit of a busy noise coming out of that. And we've got some grey as well for later on. We'll put that one over there. Alrighty. Now I want to grab the cerulean blue. Get it on both sides of my brush. And I want to start at the bottom of the horizon line. I've put that on there. I've got those 4 areas, okay? I'm painting this in the bottom half, the cerulean blue, and I'm just gradiating it up into that white. I hate it when I go live. You always forget to move the camera. Now I'm going to wipe that brush. I'll leave the camera. I won't move it unless I have to. Oh yeah, I do got to, but I'll keep my hand on it so I don't forget. Now I want to get a bit of phthalo blue. Okay, and just get the bottom of that nice and dark, nice and dark. Big bore of darky. Okay, where's my tape? There's the bottom of my tape there. So this is going to come across there. You might not see this, it might get covered up with trees, but at least it's there for what we do see. Get this pushed on and then slowly bring that up. And that cerulean blue has got a little bit darker way down the bottom. So we've got our violet down here. Could probably add a little bit of white in that just to turn the lights on. I mean, it's going to mix with what's on the board anyway, on the canvas board, canvas cloth. Everyone can hear me okay? Now, we want to get this in the next section because there's 3 parts of this sky, blue, violet and grey. So this is going to come across here now. Push this into its area, pushing it in, and then slowly mix that with the blue now. Let it contaminate and gradiate through the 2 colours. Use the tip of the brush and then start pushing that up to the higher area, but try not to bring too much blue up there. I think I want to keep that violet colour going. I did a painting like this similar a couple of years ago, I realised, when I was researching my colour mixing for this. There we go, we've got a nice transition of that violet and the blue. It's looking good. Now I'm going to wipe that brush. No, I've got to wash it again, sorry. So chat amongst yourselves again while I give this a quick wash. And grey, where's me grey? I want the grey, but with a bit of the cerulean blue in there. So it's not quite grey, it's grey blue. Get that on there, keep pulling the rest of just that vibe there. Well, that's a bit too much blue now. I'm going to have to put a little bit more grey back into it. I blue-ulated it too much. Can someone tell me if the sound's good? Robert or Kevin or Tanya, Linda, sound good? Okay, we've got 23 people watching. You'd think at least one of those 23 will say, yeah, your sound's all right, Ian. Okay, now this is going to go from the top. Get it to that violet, and then start easily crisscrossing it into that violet down. I'm using the tip of the brush and the side angle to get it more direct where I want it. And then I'll come back flat again like this, and then come across, just so we've got a beautiful radiation of the, not a radiation, gradient of the colours. So we've got those gradients happening there. But what I want to do is I'm just going to grab another putter on a brush, and I want to really push it, because at the moment it's looking too much like a band, 3 bands of colours there, and I don't want that. That'll do. I've got to get some clouds in there before we lose the ability to do that. So I want to grab my titanium white, which is all the way over here. Okay, so you can go there, get some white. Bear with me a moment, I'll move the camera in a minute. I'll put that in there. Fan brush. Now I'm grabbing the titanium white on the sides of my fan brush here. I'm loading it up, chiseling it onto my fan brush here. I'm using a hog bristle fan brush because it's just my favourite go-to brush. There we go. Now down here I want some clouds at the bottom. So I'm going to come across here. They're going to mix with the blue. These are going to be real grey, vibey clouds. I'm getting just the top of them done, leaving some of the blue there. That's it. See how I've grinded it in and I've made it that colour? That'll do. That'll do. I'll grab my blending brush and a kitchen cloth. Has anyone told me if the sound's all right or what? Let me double check it. Oh yeah, it's working. Okay, so now I want to blend the bottom of this cloud down. I'll get the top the way I want it, gingerly, soft, and I want to blend the bottom down. I'm not worried about this side because it's going to have a heap of trees there, okay? So I'm blending this down to the horizon there. I'll stop and wipe the brush with the cloth. Come over here, controlling the top with the corner, twisting it a bit, just getting it where I want it. It's very plugged up full of paint, look at that. Now that's the bottom cloud. That's going to be right in the distance, it's going to make sense. Now I want to grab another, where's my moon going to be? So I might put something around where the moon's going to be. So the moon's going to be there. I want something here. So I'll start in the grey and just come around. That'll do. Just kind of a porthole type of cloud maybe. Let's see if this brush is clean enough. I might use my glove because That glove's full of blue paint. Now I want to leave the inside hard edge there and taper this side's edge into the sky, because the moon's going to create the highlight on those clouds. So we just simply got that. Can I have a look in the monitor there? That's looking okay. I've just used my rubber glove. I could have used a brush. I don't really want anything this side. I don't want it too busy. Sometimes you can over cloud your later sky and just get things going far too busy. So I don't want to do that. I want to keep it as less is more. But before I stop, I just want that final piece of yumminess here, which is there. Boom. That's it. You can go in the tub of water, you're done. And I'll do the same now. I'm going to leave that hard edge and just gingerly rub me rubbery brush on, not me rubbery brush, me rubbery thumb. Not me rubbery thumb, me rubbery glove. Get it right in. Now I'm going to look in my phone, see how long we've been going for. 18 minutes. Well, it's not 18 people watching, it's 18 minutes. We've got 22 people watching. So we've got 11 thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up, it costs you nothing. Now I better get that out the way. Sometimes I'll tell you, you can get carried away just boom, 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 and carrying on with the rest of your painting where you don't need to, so try not to do that. That's it, my sky is done, but before I do, I don't know if you could see it, there's a hair here. You grab a pointy knife and you pull it off like so, and if it's still a bit wet, you can just sit it down like that. There we go. Now I want to pull this horizon line tape off before we get going. So, believe it or not, a lot of people like to see the tape come off in painting, so whenever I do pull it off, I try and remember to film it. I'm going to get my glove and just push that ridge down so I don't have a ridge going through my trees and that in the midground. We just get rid of it. There we go. And I told you that for nothing. How's that, eh? So now I'll give that a dry. See the river here? We've got some river going on here, so we'll get the river in there. I'm going to use a smaller brush, so I'll use a smaller flat. And you just have to go to there because they're going to see this line here and that line there. That's the bank and the reflection. Oh, before I do that, I'll grab my pouncer and the moon size. So what size moon do I only want? This size moon. So simple moon. Don't overcomplicate it, Ian, like you normally do. You try not to overcomplicate, and at the end of the day, you end up complicating it. So what I want to do is grab some, I'll bring you down here in a minute, just bear with me. Got me pouncer. Now I want to grab some of this leftover white, get a bit more on there, and I need to tint it, or tone it, colour it with the grey. That's going to be the darker value of the moon. I think that moon's a bit big. No, it'll be all right. Now I want it, see, I know my river's here, so I didn't want it over this side where you're not going to get much of it in the, I wanted it here so you'll get a good visual of the reflection in the river there, water. It's done. I'm just simply going to wipe the greyness off there. There's a lot of grey on there, and I want to simply just grab the white now and just tint one side of that with some white. So let's give that a go. I'll try this side here. I might have to dry it. Let's see if I can pull it off first. That's it. Now see how the middle's gone away? I'll grab me rubber glove, I was going to say me rubber finger, and I'll just glovulate that together like that, and that's it. The moon's done. Don't muck with it anymore. We'll get the reflection in the water looking good in a minute. Now what I do need is this brush here and this paint here, this craft paint. It's still got some retarder left in it. This is just going to help the water. Now I got the idea from this. I saw some pictures on the internet and I thought this one was a snowy road, and I thought, no, I want water. I don't want a snow road. I want water. So I'm going to simply paint the whole bottom here just to that blue paint there. You'll see there, just to there, and get all this down there. There we go. Now I'll do it all water so as we can just put our reflections in appropriately. Okay, so that's done. I'm simply going to wipe that brush. I'll use that same brush. I'm going to wash it. Now I need my turquoise colour, so I'm going to grab turquoise. It's phthalo turquoise to be exact, but any turquoise will do. If you don't have any turquoise, just mix some up. If you don't know how to mix a colour, search it on YouTube. I'm sure someone has a tutorial how to mix all the colours. I've had a lot of people ask me, how do you mix dioxine purple, this, that and the other. Just YouTube search it and I'm sure someone will show you. Now I want to grab this phthalo and we'll get the water, let's say, dark at the foreground and lighter in the middle. Sounds okay, have said what? Okay, you can say stuff, I don't mind reading what you say, because when it's edited, all that chat stuff's gone, and for the replay, it's not there in the replay anymore. Now I'm going to start at the bottom here, start at the bottom, rubbing it into that white, like you want it to be happy, and then I'm going to slowly bring it up to the top, but when I bring it to the top, I might have to add white, I'll see how we go. I want the top lighter, and then the bottom half darker. So that creates, instead of your water looking like that, it's going to look like that. You feel me? Do you feel me? There we go. So I'm just lacing it on the top now. Nothing technical. It's not a technical painting. It's not realism. I'm just playing with it until I'm happy with it. So there's enough. Now I'm just going to wipe the paint off that because it's got a lot of white on there, and I want to try and get the bottom a little bit darker. I've just pushed in a little bit of phthalo blue into that turquoise just so as I can get this bottom maybe a bit darker. It's very wet, so it's not really, but that'll do. That will do. Now I'm going to keep this paintbrush so as I can get my beautiful moon reflection in the water. What do we need for that? We need, where'd it go? The white tube of paint. I'm just going to put some more white onto the palette down there. Now you want a straight line. I've seen some people, because they're shorelines on an angle, they do the reflection on an angle. Wherever your moon is in the sky, street light reflections, they're always straight down, nothing more, straight down, okay? All right, so I will get a cleaner flat brush for that actually, because I'm going to use this one. I think they're called a hake brush or a varnish brush. I'm not sure, but it's one I got from the art shop. I very rarely use it, but I want to get some white paint. So I'm going to grab, let's say, this one. Pick up me white just on one side. I can't help myself. I've got to turn it over. I'll try and get head on, because when my camera's on an angle it looks crooked. I want to grab this. There's me moon and there's me go-to spot. So I want to get this, come in that wet water. It's very wet. I'm stamping it on because when I stamp it on, it's going to sit on there. I've got to get it to the tip of the brush, you dag. Now with this reflection, I need it tapering out at the opened edge here. Bit more white paint on there. Pretty messy, but it's wet. There we go. Hopefully this is going to work. If I got it the right way, sometimes I get these back to front. See if it's head on, it looks more underneath the moon. Now I'm going to, I need to move the camera because otherwise I can't stand here and paint. I'm going to Boom. Wipe the excess off. Now what I'll do is I'll come all the way across the bottom, all the way across the middle, a lot lighter. I've got that there. Now all I need to do is to get the shimmer there. That's it. I will grab the toothbrush, some water. I'm going to load my toothbrush up. Where's the water? There's the water. Now I'm going to start bringing some paint into my toothbrush. You want it, look at that, I got too much in there first up. I've got to start again. Oh man, I just broke the handle. I have to get another one. Get that wet. And I want to just concentrate here with the shimmer on the water. I'll start here. Now a toothbrush is way better than a brush, because you will find with a toothbrush you get areas of speckle on your canvas. You don't get lines and patterns and spaghetti blobs. You can use some people use a fan brush, some people flick it, but they tend to make weird shapes. That's just my opinion, what I don't like about them. That's why I like to use this toothbrush. Look what it's doing. I'm getting a lot of shimmer down here. And we can intensify that right in the guts. And that's got sprayed, it's like it's been done with the spray paint. There's no weird lines in it. And there we go, we've got incredible shimmer with lots of bullshit. That'll do. Now I'll just show you that head on, so it's, there we go. Once that tapes off, hopefully it'll look level. I can give that a dry. I'm going to do this side first because that's further away, and then I'll bring this one in front. So I want I'm going to try and do some trees I can't do. I'm going to use this brush again. I want to do some, what do you call them? Palm trees. Now I got the, believe it or not, I grabbed the Prussian blue, and now that I'm live, camera's on and everything, and I've only got a certain window, where is the Prussian blue gone? I'm looking for it and I can't see it anywhere. Oh. Is it under there? No, no, I need the Prussian blue. Oh, here it is. It's looking right at me. If it had teeth, right here. It's because it's the Matisse. My opinion, I love Atelier over Matisse. This one's a structure. See, it says structure. It's very thick body. Now I'll get that there. Oh, it's thick, but I love this colour. It's going to make the snow. Now I'm just going to, firstly I've got to just grab my little ink bottle. I call it an ink bottle, but my little water tub. I want to grab that as well, just so as I can have me paint inky enough as I need it. So I'm going to grab this. I'm just going to have this as the dark value for me trees. And we do have to get it a little bit wet, just so we've got a beautiful transfer rate. Now I don't want to start at the top, because I want the top of my trees opened and looking great. So this is going to come a bit past the middle, so the lake's there. Oh, where's my paintbrush? I want to try over here first. No, that's no good. That's better. I want to start here. I'm getting 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to count them because it'll play with people's OCD. If I count them, they've got to wait till I'm finished, and I can't handle that myself. Now, I'm using this brush because I know, see, I'll do one here, I can get a bullet shape conifer there, and that's what I'm doing along here. Let's say all the way up to this height. That's where I'm going to have them. So I'll manufacture the top, getting air in between each tree. See, we could see that cloud now. Once I get the tops manufactured, I can just block it all in then. Get some tall ones, some lower ones. The reflection can be distorted. It doesn't have to be the same size, okay? Just remember that. I want to come down about there. About there. So what I want to do in these strokes is kind of pull it down. Even though that water paint is dry, I've got to make sure it's more in cahoots with everything though. Getting that there, pulling it down. I've got to let that dry because see that white? There we go. I'll go over that pale bit later. I want to get all this done. Pulling it down, creating the illusion of it being in the water. And then this bit here can be just solid. Now this is coming here. This is pretty much, I'll get it in the middle first. This is smaller, and this is probably going to be just some kind of, I could have done these as, what do you call it? Me popular little filbert trees, but I'm just going to do them twisty scrumble trees. See there, I get a bit of air in there. This is a different kind of bush. Well, I want it to be a different kind of bush. And this is going to be in front of that with its appropriate colours lit onto it as well. Now this is going to come down, pull it down, pull it down. Turn it around actually. Pull it down into the water there. I want it about there. And sometimes, depending on what time of the day it is, you don't get any reflections in lakes. But some people feel, well, we've got to have a reflection there, it's got to be the same size. It doesn't have to be the same size, and it's your painting. And if someone gives you a hard comment about it, just don't let that bother you. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Not everyone's going to like what you like, and you're not going to like what everyone else likes. I need a little bit of phthalo blue. Oh, I want this softer stuff. There we go. Now I want two vibes of this. I want a darker vibe and a lighter, brighter vibe. I want this vibe and then a bit lighter later on. I'm just going to have a mouthful of my coffee that my boy made me. Oh. Oh. G'day, Ingrid. Okay, yeah, thanks, Robert. Okay, back to here. Now, I want to get the tops above there, nice and airy. I want to do some trees. So I want to make these trees like that, but you don't want even patterns within them. So don't let that happen if you can help it. And this is going to make some bullshittingly nice conifers. There, see this one, it's working better than the first one. And I simply just shape it up, bringing it down to the reflection area, just like so. And I want them to look fluffy and pillowy and full of bullshit. Now, if you don't know what bullshit means on my channel, I use that word a lot, and I don't mean it as a rude way. It's just my way. It's more of a bigger way of saying, wow, I like that, or wow, did you do that? It's like bullshit. It's like, it's just a factor. I'm going to pull these into the water now. So all I do is like I said, I might have to put another band there. Get some of this and just put it on and pull down. Put your tape back down if it's trying to peel off like mine is. Leaving some bands here and there. Oh, keep them straight. Don't go crooked. Otherwise you turn your bullshit into snot that easy. And because they're pulled down, it gives them the illusion that they're in the water. Okay, I've got to quickly get into this. It's just taking its toll. Coming down. I'm leaving gaps and dark bits in between. What I'll do is I'll start from this side. Where are we? Way out here. That way I can leave some gaps to make them look like they're coming from this way to that way. Pull it down into the water. Now how easy is that, eh? You can do it. And if you can't do it first time around, that's fine, you just need to practice. Okay, we've got our water reflections looking good. Come over to this side, and now these are a different tree. These are the twisty up trees. Actually, what I will do, I won't use that, I'll use my filbert. Where are you, Mr. Filbert? Not that one, that one's got damagement done to it. I'll use this one. I'll make these more distinctive and filberty, okay? So I'm just grabbing my filbert brush, because that brush there, you can see what was happening there. It's just going to clash with that stuff. So I'll just make these ones filberty. There we go. So they'll distinctively look different within the painting. Leaving that black line against the horizon there, like I explained before. It's important to have that there. It creates the depth. Get some paint on your brush here, nothing's coming off. And this will probably save the painting being a different foliage. And then I'll simply use this brush. I mean, that looks dumb at the moment, don't worry about that. We'll get that looking a lot better than that. Just start pulling that down in bits and bobs like this now. Not all the way down like I did on the other side, because this is the filbert reflection. So I normally do filbert reflections in, like I'm jabbing it like that. Let me have a look. And that's looking a bit more forgiving. I mean, this is a simple basic painting for a beginner, but it's quite effective looking. I do try and choose a easy painting when I do my live tutorials. Before I get started, I want to just grab that scrumbly brush that I used on this side here. Okay, just so as I can grab the dark colour again, with make sure there's no bright bits in it to grey it. I want to just grab some of that dark Prussian blue and just make sure I've got this radiating in, up and in along there, and you'll see, move the camera, sorry, did it again. You'll see the difference this does. It's important to have this here. I didn't bring this one on an angle because that gives you that square L-shaped look. You keep your horizon line straight or slightly skewered, but in general straight. And you want this radiating from the middle up a bit and down a bit into the reflection. If you want, you can have a dark spot there and reflect that into the reflection there. There we go. Because when we add the highlights on this, it makes up for the depth. So you can watch this video a couple of times and get the gist of it all. That one's pretty well already done. See there? See how that's made a difference? Now I'm just going to wash that brush. How long have I been going for? Oh, 50 minutes. I'll tell you what, the time flies, doesn't it? Now I've dried it, I'm going to grab the white. I don't care if it mixes with that blue a little bit. It can be a little bit tainted. That's nearly dry, so I'll get over here. And I want it a lot brighter now. Pretty much white, but tainted, just so I've got enough so I can really highlight it with some pure white later on. That's pretty much, let me have a look up here. It's looking pretty white on the painting. I want it to, this is powder blue here, but on the painting it looks white. Now over here, we'll start over here. Very light is the key. I should have a little detail brush for this. That's better. Look how blobby they were. I might have to put the darks back into those ones. This is the actual tree now that I'm doing, so this is going to create the shape. Leaving some darks within them. And try and get rid of any unique patterns that are forming when you're stamping. I'll see here. Just had a look in the monitor. It needs to be a bit longer there. Now, like I said, it's just simple brush strokes. It's knowing what to do. It makes it a lot of fun. You can do it, I'm telling you. Always go beyond the darker colour with your brighter colours, I feel. Just looks more pleasing to the eye. Okay, that's that side done. Now I'll pick up my filbert brush again so as I can highlight the other side with that same colour, and hopefully you'll see it. I'm going to highlight the actual what do you call it, Prussian blue for this one, because they're a different bush. I don't want them to be the same colour. Sometimes we can get caught painting the same colour of everything and everything's clashing. Now I need some more white in there because it's not white enough. How's that looking? That'll do it. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of a grey vibe. I'm liking it. I feel I've ruined this side, but I'm going to persevere with it anyway. And see this final colour, that can actually sit right over the dark bits, creating a bit of stuff sticking out in the light and then creating the depth under it. It's so easy, we can get caught highlighting the whole damn thing and it just looks like a big mishmash. I've done it in my past when I was learning and It's so good to know that in your journey you look back and you think how wrong you did it then and how different and better you feel you're doing it now. It's all part of your art journey. How's that look? It is a different colour. And we'll simply get some of this sprogged in there as well. Oh, goodness me, the paint's so wet. Now, if I've buggered too much of this up, I just put the dark colour back. But I'll look in my monitor and see if it's being forgiving or not. Yeah, that's not too bad. I can probably get a bit of dark wash over it. When it's dry, I might have to put some more dark back. Now we need a bit of film on our water. So my best way to do my film, I feel, is grabbing that, let me grab it first and then I'll bring your camera down. I'm using some glaze, liquid gloss. And I just noticed before we get going as well, where is that brush? We've lost our reflection of the shimmer there, so I'll put that back as well. Now, I pretty much don't like using white paint on a knife and putting big ugly cartoon lines there. So what I do, I grab me, what do you call this stuff again? Glaze. I grab me glaze and I get the colour I want in there. I want a bit of, where's the phthalo? And white. I put a lot of white there, didn't I? Now you don't need much white in it. I want it more blue than that because it's going to clash with the reflections otherwise. There we go. Let's mix that in our glaze here. See how much white I put in there? Bugger all. Now I want to grab my bullshit stick because this gives me a nice straight line. And what I do, I grab the corner of the brush and I hit the corner and I'm making my line with the corner of the brush wider and whatnot. But first, I want to get up in here and see this is sort of transparent. Now what I do is simply grab it and just use the edge of it, the corner of it, and sink those reflections down. So you've got some kind of, I don't know, Canadian or whatever type of lake reflections there. And I have learnt with this stuff not to play with it too much in the one spot because it can dig into your paint and give you grief. And once you get grief in your paintings, it makes you want to throw your brushes away and not do it anymore. But that's giving up. Don't give up. Good things are never meant to be easy. Otherwise everyone will be doing them. Does that look a bit like a film? Well, let me have a look. Yeah, it's kind of, I'll get rid of that line a bit. That'll do. I just don't want it looking too liney because there's no lines in nature. Beautiful. Now I want to grab the white paint just on my brush there and try and get this. Oh, look at that, that's too heavy. See if I can do that again. Where's my moon? I'm trying to get the shimmer of the moon back on top of the water there where we lost it with the reflections. So I'm just using a flat brush here. I'll get a bit closer so you can see. Now it might look on an angle, but when I put the camera square on to the painting, it'll look a bit decent. And get this there. And we're simply stamping our shimmer back on. And if you have to, you can redo it with the toothbrush as well. The main band of it's here still, coming along. Nice and thin. So when we look back at it, these little things like this just top a painting off and just give it that final piece of charisma. I'm trying not to destroy too much of the toothbrush freckles, but if I do, I can just put them back. But you get a gist of what I'm trying to show you here in this simple but wonderful gift from me to you guys. Now, it does look a bit straight on. Now, I did this bit here because what I want to show you, sometimes you have a bit of a wave coming out of them. It's just a realistic vibe that I like to put in them. That'll do. I just noticed my coffee's there getting neglected. Where is that brush? There it is, there it is, there it is. Now I want to grab, I'll just use a dioxazine purple. Is that going to stand out or not? Yes, it will. Nice powdery pale dioxazine purple. I'm just grabbing that into my script liner, just so as I can come down here and share my autograph with you lovely people. And I want to thank everyone who supports my content every month. I really appreciate it. And the more support I get, the more often I can be behind the camera here giving you these wonderful gifts. And like I said, give me a comment, even if you're a regular, tell me who you are, where you're from. There we go. I'll whack a frame on this just to see how she looks. All right, let's whack a frame on that and see how she looks. There you go, that's not too shabby. We've got a moonlit snow, trying to glaze up area of water there, and I know you can do it. Well, what a lot of fun that was. I enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed it. You be sure to tell your friends if you like what I'm doing, but if you don't like what I'm doing, you tell everybody. Goodbye, good luck, and good on you.